Joining us now is a former Exxon Arabian Gulf President, Jerry Bailey. He's currently the president of Petroteq Energy. Jerry, give me your reaction to the news that you just heard Brian sharing.
Well, that's great. Thank you for having me on. His comments are very appropriate. I never expected an increase actually in the production, if any, a small amount. Considering the amount of oil that is produced around the world, this is kind of a blip on the radar. It's really not a big effect. And the points were made correctly that because of the turmoil everywhere, now I've worked in places like Libya and the United Arab Emirates. I know the Gulf, I know the region. There's so many volatile areas and things happening, like in Libya now, within the Iranian situation. So all of these things have an impact on taking oil out, the Venezuelan problem. So even though there's an increase being shown, it's really not a major increase. It's a backfill for a lot of the things that are going on. So it was not unexpected, in my opinion.
Yeah, so again, to your point, sort of a blip on the radar. I mean, prices aren't even backing up at all, which you might have expected. In fact, they're going the other way. Where are you in terms of the expectations for oil from here? Is that an appropriate response today, and do we sort of hang around this new level?
I'm not surprised at that at all. Look, the price of oil is in a good range right now, in the mid to high 60s. I really have expected us to be up in the mid 70s, which is a more comfortable range for the OPEC countries, particular because of their budget responses and needs. So they do not want the price to go down any further. That is not good for their own budgets. On the other hand, they don't want it to go too far on the upside because, again, that loses customers. It stifles the economy. Look, we're in a global world now, and we all use that word. And oil is the one thing that transcends all kinds of boundaries. So we don't want to upset that balance, and neither does OPEC. So I think they're very astute businessmen when it comes to that. So I'm not surprised to see oil go up a little bit. Consumption is up. So we'll probably stay, I believe, in this type of a range.
And Jerry, certainly when you look at the Saudis specifically, I mean, I'm sure they don't want to see the price go down when they've got billions of dollars in infrastructure projects and hundreds of billions of dollars in arms deals that they're looking to get done here with the U.S. I mean, there's so many broader implications. I've got a policy question for you. Given the fact that the U.S. is producing record amounts of oil and has become such a dominant player on the world stage, is exporting more, do you foresee a time in which it's asked to come to the table for these types of meetings with OPEC and Russia in the future?
Well, I think that the OPEC effort and their participation has not diminished any. In fact, it's a very powerful group that still controls so much about the price. Even though the U.S. now is on a par with Saudi Arabia and Russia in terms of production, but still we are not at the point because we're a free market type of country in who produces oil and doesn't. And so our people produce oil as long as it's profitable. My company now, Petroteq Energy, we do it for under $30 a barrel. As long as we can make money, we will do it. So will other producers. But Saudi Arabia, and many of the OPEC countries, that is their prime source of income. So they have to be very delicate about what they do about lowering prices or raising prices. And they have a definite influence. Anybody who doesn't believe that or understand that surely doesn't understand the oil markets. I've been around long enough. I remember the oil embargo. I lived through that in the 70s. It shows you how powerful it can be, you know. So a change one way or another really affects everybody.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, we appreciate you joining us to provide some of those insights and that history as well. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Jerry Bailey.